Got the whole world in your hands. You got the whole wide world. Once again, this is Bharat from Palmistry Unplugged, and it's been 4 or 5 months since I've done a video. Yeah, getting caught up in life and other things, and also, I have a fire hand, so I have to be passionate about what I'm doing, or else I can't do it. So it's like that. I have to wait till the enthusiasm is there to continue. Now, we were talking about the lifeline. So I will continue with that. And there's one thing that I forgot to mention about the beginning of the lifeline is when the lifeline starts downwards on the slope, or it comes up and then it goes, which is shown in the diagram. That is very inauspicious. That's not a good sign at all. And it means like some some issue from a past life, some negativity, something inauspicious is occurring, and there's something. It could be a fated destiny. Something is there. Something that is not a good sign when that starts down. So I just wanted to add that on. So now we have talked about the early childhood, and we get to the point where the lifeline then, if it's joined together with the headline, where it begins to separate from the headline, and then so it starts to wrap around the Venus. And this is the period where a person goes out into the world. So figuring, like I said before, if you look at the markers that I use, that's about the age of 20, 21. It could be a little bit earlier or later, a few years here and there. But this is the age a person goes out in the world. And this is also an important point to look at the lifeline. So is the lifeline now at this point continuous? Is it going around and curving around in a continuous way, or is there breaks? Or very often that you'll see is different rays of creation coming in, different lifelines coming in from above, and you see a new start. When this happens, this is about the time when a person takes on their life, goes on to what their life force and life flow is going to be. So very often there is a break from the childhood, and when there's a really strong break, a very clear break, that means the person has become discontinuous with the past. And the energy that was holding them from other lives, the energy that was around in the collective of their parents and the milieu that they were born into, it's like they're beyond that now. Not beyond, but they've ended. And they're going now on their own direct life force energy. Hopefully I have some diagrams about this that I can show you. Or it could go along and continuous, So at this point, you're getting into that early adulthood, and you're looking about, what's going on. Does the line gets thick? Does the line get thin? Does the line have islands? Does dots on the line? So this is all showing periods of abundance, periods of where there's not so much abundance. And I do look. Where is the lifeline the most juiciest, or the thickest, or the most passionate point? Because this is where the person has most life, and very often it's more towards the middle portion of the lifeline that you see the person is going to have their main story going on. But that's not always the case. So you're looking to see if there's breaks. So if the lifeline breaks, and then there's a second line that starts before the first one ends, that talks about major life direction change. That's fairly accurate. So you're looking for these things, and that gives you a clue. It gives you. The line starts to talk to you. You're going, oh yeah, this person's going to go through changes. This person's not going to start living their life until the age of 35 or something like that, because you're looking at that age 21, and you're making the what's the word? You're making the calculation to what age it is. Even though I don't like to go exact age, but ballpark age. So you're looking at these lines, and and you're looking what's coming off the lines and what's going on to the line. So sometimes you see these very, very small little lines from above that are coming just slightly above, a millimeter above the lifeline, and they just end exactly on the lifeline. So this is where there's an influx of energy. So that usually it can be some sort of spiritual energy or some sort of wealth. It could be also wealth, but there's an influx of energy coming in, and it's quite positive. On the opposite side, you can have small little lines that originating exactly on the lifeline, and they go downwards. Now this is loss of energy lines. So I'm really looking like how many lines are coming into the lifeline like this, and how many lines are leaving like lifelines like this. So very often there's losses of energy with the latter type of lines, and so I'm looking to see how does the lifeline continue afterwards. Does it become less, or does it remain the same, or become more? Sometimes there could be a line coming in positive, and then you see the lifeline just not exploding, but really increasing. And also you can see that sometimes with a loss, believe it or not. But usually those lines can mean illness. So you're really looking how that line is afterwards. If you see afterwards the line has become really thin and faint and unstable, this person's probably had a stroke or is going to have a stroke, or something that's going to affect his life force energy, his life force flow. So that's very important, these little lines. And sometimes you're seeing a lot of little, you see like little X's on the lifeline, which tiny little losses, tiny little gains. But the lifeline stays the same and stays steady. So these people, it's about learning detachment from gains and losses. Like gains and losses will be in their life, but it's not going to affect their life at all. So that's a very important message from existence about gaining gains and losses and being detached from them. Okay, so so you're just looking about how the course of that life is going. And I want to get back now to also this Mount of Mars, which I said I would talk about in this video. The Mount of Mars, which is under the beginning of the early childhood, is a very important area. It tells a lot about aggression, power, relationship with the father. So it's a very, very important area. So I'm also looking at the left and the right hand. So if I look at the left hand, and there's a lot of markings on the Mount of Mars, the positive Mount of Mars, if there's a lot of markings on the hand, on the left hand, I know the person has past life involvement with aggression. And usually, so that means they have some sort of charge karma where they've, charged something up. They were a soldier and they did all sorts of nasty stuff. And now it comes back to them in this life. So they come in with issues of power. And also what will happen is very often they will incarnate into a difficult life family situation. They will incarnate with difficult parents. That is how they're paying off their karma. So now I am looking at the right hand, or the active hand. I'm looking to see, is this now the affliction in the Mars, is this become less or does this become more? And if it becomes less, that means they're working on their power issues. And if it becomes more, that means they're charging. And very often I'll see people that that are clear in the left hand, their Mars, but they're afflicted in the right hand, in the active hand, and these people are charging. They're like, usually what it is they're repressing their anger. Oh, I don't want to be angry at my mate because I know it's not good to do that. It's my stuff. But instead of just witnessing or just letting the anger pass, they're repressing it. So it starts to build up. And these people, they have to learn to some way, do something about that charge. So that's an issue very often in people's life when they're doing that. Very often they don't even know they're doing it, and I'm pointing it out to them, and they're surprised. But it's pretty accurate. So of course you're looking. Did we talk about the thumb? I think we did talk about the thumb. Sorry, there's been 5 months, 6 months since I have since my last video. But you know that willpower part of the thumb. So you are coordinating with the willpower thumb. That is also the seat of anger. Willpower, anger. You know, anger is not necessarily a negative force. It can be also a very positive force. It gives you that energy to complete your task, to have that willpower, to give you a tenacious hold on on your projects and keeping yourself going forward. So there is a very positive things like that. So when you do see these little lines that are crossing the lifeline from the Mount of Mars, that is some sort of male aggression. I did mention that before. It also can be accidents or childhood illnesses. So as I said before, that is a little bit non-specific, so you have to talk to the person about that, about what is going on. But there's going to be some male aggression in some way. And sometimes you see it a little bit later, you know, going towards more the teenage years. And that's usually there would be some brothers they're fighting with, or sisters or siblings that they're fighting with. There would be some sort of aggression coming at them at that way. And that is fairly accurate, how that's happening, you know. So this Mount of Mars is an important area because it is showing, you know, what's your person's relationship with power, how much power they do have. You know, if you have a little Mount of Mars, you're not going to have so much power, but, you know, but it's not too often you see somebody with a really wide Mount of Mars. And it is also interesting that also the Mount of Mars, in a way, is also part of Venus, you know, and it's actually part of the relationship area of Venus. So I find that interesting because at one moment it's the Mount of Mars, and the other point it's the relationship area of Venus. So these things do exist, you know, sort of simultaneously existing, dimensions existing on top of dimensions, parallel universes. So this is existing. Okay, so now we've talked about when that lifeline separates and the person goes into that independent way, how is it affecting them? If there's like a very narrow kind of arc, and you see like it's small, the area around Venus, these are people more narrow-minded outlook. And usually if the lifeline wraps around and in an arc, that's usually a person's going to live the normal life, status quo, nothing, you know, not reinventing the wheel, you know, just living the material normal life. If that lifeline it has an outward push, like it's sort of going in a general direction towards the moon area or to the Neptune area, this talks about life of expansion. And these people, you know, you need, I always try to encourage expansion. You know, learn something new, expand your horizons, go into the unknown, don't stay with the status quo. Because very often people should say, should I, you know, quit my job, or should I go into the new, or should we, you know. So when they have the expanding one, then you're going more on the side, yeah, go for the new. Whereas if they have a wraparound, you're going, well, you know, stay. So, I think I just want to continue on here. You know, no, whether I should continue on there. I think I'll end it here, and we'll do the next ending of the lifeline in the next video. I think that would be easier. Okay, so this is Bharat, and and you can download my books, which I really would like, or say at least like and subscribe to my Palmistry Unplugged channel. And I hope that you can receive this information. I did have one student come from the north of India that was a young boy who was liked my videos and came and actually had a course with me. He came to where I was living, and and he took my palmistry course. So that's also, I'm also available in person for you to take the course. I'm available in internet readings as well. And also my books. You can download my books in Amazon or iBooks or any place like that. So I will sign off, and this is me again, Bharat, and see you next time.
The whole world in your hands, you got the whole wide world in your hands, you got the whole